Well, hello and welcome to Miss Tarot. I hope everybody had a really happy holiday. You know, it was fantastic. We had salmon. It was the first time. Um, we had midnight Thanksgiving. It was pretty exciting. What was your Thanksgiving like? I just thought that I would pop on here and talk about the tarot and why do we love the tarot? Well, we love the tarot because it tells a story, and we are really into stories. I mean, really, as a human species, we are very much into the storytelling and to listening to each other's stories, and all of those things really hold a lot of meaning for us. And since the story of the tarot goes from the Fool to the end with the World card, and it tells everything that could happen in between, betrayal, love, the good times, the bad times. And I think that is what makes the tarot such a universal storytelling tool. And I think that the reason it is so relatable to people is because everyone can understand and empathize with what is happening in the stories, because they're things that happen to us every day as we live our lives. So with that, it is the full moon in Gemini, and the reason I wanted to touch on that storytelling is because many actors are Geminis. Actually, they're probably the zodiac sign that's most likely to be actors. They're very mutable. They can take on roles really well. I mean, so many actors are Geminis, and they tell stories. And I think that that's really positive. But it is the full moon in Gemini. We have several planets retrograde. I believe that would be Uranus and Jupiter. Ooh. Not sure what the other one is, but we are, so, oh, it's Neptune. Yeah. So we have to be kind of careful about the stories we're telling ourselves with all of that retrograde energy. Some people believe that Neptune rules Pisces. Some people believe that Jupiter rules Pisces. But look, we have the Six of Pentacles. And that is very good because it is about where do we put our attention. Where attention goes, energy flows. And, we have to be careful of our thoughts, because thoughts eventually become things. And I actually watched that happen straight up this evening. And so we really need to be careful of our inner dialogue, and we got to get right with ourselves, treat ourselves with respect, lift ourselves up and be kind to ourselves, appreciate the good things that we are bringing to the table and what we are doing. Making sure that we have our integrity and that we are treating each other with kindness, and that we are treating ourselves with kindness. Yeah, because, the Five of Swords, and that's just like unnecessary conflict. Who wins, right? Who wins? Nobody wins. It's just not worth it. Ooh. Lots of people feeling wounded. That is the Wounded Warrior card. And a lot of people out there, may be feeling like they're not at their best right now. I don't know if you can trust that, because we have so many things that are retrograde. So I would say, be kind to yourself. Give yourself some leadway. Everybody makes mistakes, and doesn't need to be blown out of proportion and made a big deal out of to the point of harm. You know, there's a lot of nosiness and spying energy going on. People are very worried about, gosh, there's a lot of worries in the world right now. There are, collectively, there's a lot of concerns. I really don't think it's as bad as we think it is. The Ace of Swords. That is all about being honest with yourself and being honest with others. And like your own truth. What is your truth? And respecting yourself enough to walk in your truth and your integrity. King of Swords at the bottom of the deck, which is fantastic because the King of Swords, that's his sword. See? That's his sword. And that is considered the sword of truth, And the King of Swords has, I would say, like, in a lot of ways, he represents, like, justice. He represents law. He represents order. And then he represents one facet of becoming the emperor. And, I mean, like, in the collective, there's a lot of emperor energy at the moment, With those emotions, we have the Ace of Cups. And that's allowing ourselves to be with our feelings. That doesn't mean they have to overtake everything. It just means that we need to sit with them a moment so that they don't come out in ways where we regret them. I'm really grateful that I get to be able to do this evening. It's something I've been really wanting to do. And since it is the full moon in Gemini. Oh, very fantastic. The Ten of Pentacles. And I mean, I just love the Ten of Pentacles. That is such a good card. That is a card where you have taken care of all of your needs on the physical plane, and you are able to allow yourself the luxury of dealing with your feelings in a much more appropriate way because you have provided for yourself. There may be a lot of Tower in the public eye right now because there's a lot of aggression going on in the world. So please be sure to not be aggressive with yourself. Be kind to yourself. That inner dialogue is so important because that's what we end up seeing happening outwardly. So when there's a lot of aggression and turmoil in the world that's happening outwardly where we see it, it's because it's showing us what's happening collectively inside of us. And that's really important to know that, the universe kind of works from that perspective of showing the mirror. And that's why it's really important for us to be respectful of ourselves and other people. This is not a good time to be doing a lot of substances. This is not a good time to be reckless. This is a prudent and frugal time. And then I get the Lord of Prudence, the Eight of Pentacles. That is fantastic. Which is, that's so, that is like Earth and Virgo right there. Ooh. And we get the Six of Pentacles, which is the Lord of material success. So through being frugal and wise and paying attention, we are able to create abundance in our lives. The energy is highly mutable, you know, and Neptune is retrograde. So Venus is in Libra, and I believe, I'm not exactly sure where Mars is right now. Temperance. Yep, it's really important to temper ourselves so that we can, you know, we should think before we act, definitely. Very important right now to think, you know. Ooh. The King of Wands. King of Wands doesn't always think, you know. He can be kind of impulsive with the Seven of Pentacles. But it looks like in this case, the King is taking stock of what he has been doing, which is really good. And these energies are, you know, like all energies, they have a feminine and a masculine to them. I would say take it as it goes, but like, you know, women can experience masculine energy and men can experience feminine energy. I don't necessarily like read like as people, but I mean I can, but I mainly kind of like tap into the collective energy. But we can just take a look at our love lives really quick. What's happening with the collective's love life at the moment? If people are interested in that. This would be you. This card that I'm going to get is going to represent you. Nine of Swords. Despair and cruelty. So it seems like, wow, in the love life, people are very, very concerned. This would be your lover. The Hanged Man. So maybe there's a lot of worry and stagnant energy in people's love lives at the moment. You know, maybe other things are more important right now. We can clarify. Balance. Justice with the Lord of Truth. And that's very good, because that means that lots and lots of balance needs to come about. You know, and it seems like there's a lot of imbalance. We got the Queen of Pentacles. It's a good time to just to focus on. And the Ten of Pentacles. It's a good time just to focus on finance. It's a good time to focus on what you do have control over. I think that that's always a good thing, you know. So this is a good collective reading. That's for all the zodiac signs. This is the Gemini full moon, and it's my pleasure to be able to be with you guys and to do this reading. And I just wish you guys well. With the Magician. The Magician has everything that they need in order to be successful. And during this time, it is a time to focus on what you do have and utilize your resources that you currently possess to the best of their abilities. And I think by doing that, everything will work out just fine. You guys have a good day. Okay, bye.